Well, g'day folks, and thank you all for being here. From the photos, obviously you already know I'm Mick. The bloke you don't know is the instigator and my taskmaster, Philip. He's the guy who kicked a snowball off the top of the hill, started a series of events that brought us all here today. The library, of course, not so much the institution, but the wonderful ladies who run the place. Without their interest, enthusiasm and professional support, Philip and I'd be in the park talking to a tree. It's cold and wet and very embarrassing. So 3 hearty cheers for girls in the library. Okay, now I'm going to spin your tale. Some of it's a little bit rough, but believe it or not, it's all true. The book. The Wounded, Morality Tale, Migrant Tale, the tale of 2 siblings vying for the future of their family. Now the focus of the book is one night. Violence, retribution, celebration and breakfast. But the bones of the book, the thing that holds it up, the skeleton of it, are the characters. Wonderful, whimsical, powerful people I sang and danced and trained and worked and fought back to back with, often right with laughter. 10 of the most exciting years of my life. Most people would regard these folks as shady characters. Wounded warriors that make their living doing dangerous things in the middle of the night. To understand why I admire these people, why I value them so highly, you've got to see them through my eyes. You've got to know some of the history that's formed of views and attitudes. Now I call it history because it does go back a bit. I had a grandfather. Took his machine gun off to Korea. And that's where my brother, sister and I grew up thinking he died. But sadly he didn't. He's a tough old bugger. He survived the shot and shell of the Dardanelles. They shipped him back to Britain. Give him a shower, a feed, a new set of clothes, and a whole new bucket of bullets. Sent him off to Flanders. It's supposed to be quite pleasant. Not so much for Grandad. He's a tough old bugger. He survived that as well. The blood and the mud and the years of the tears. And all the way through, wrote back to his wife and kids in Sydney. And she to him as often as the military post would allow. Tough old bugger, survived Flanders as well. Back to Britain, another shower, another feed, another new set of clothes, this time no bullets, just a boat ticket back to the Antipodes. And imagine a happy man climbing the gangplank on his way to home and hearth. Mail services being what they were at the end of the First World War, the letter the Australian government sent him, advising of his wife's death to the Spanish flu, had missed him. All the way home to Sydney, down the dock, no one to greet, on the tram, down the street to the house. The neighbours told him, it's locked up. Sorry, John, she's dead. Where are the kids? God knows. Social services, 1919, not real good. My sister took an interest in genealogy, a terrier of a girl. Discovered the truth. When Granddad discovered his family was gone, he couldn't take it anymore, it crushed him. He and hundreds of others drifted back north to Darwin, built rough bush humpies in the sand dunes. They fished and they fought and they drank and they gambled. And that's where the coppers found Grandad, all bashed and battered in the dunes. Took him off to Darwin Hospital and patched him and wrapped him up. He slowly drifted back to the dunes and slowly faded away. So my sister took an interest in genealogy, discovered the truth. Terrier would not let it go, jumped on the gun, took a ride up to Darwin with a friend. 2-time mayor of Cessnock, she speaks bureaucrat fluently. Long-time greyhound trainer, she doesn't mind a walk. So into the records and out to the streets. Rough anonymous rocks in the ground. For those at the back who can't see, that's what the Anzacs dropped. An overgrown cemetery in Darwin. My sister didn't take that. She stamped her feet, and screamed at the bureaucrats and signed the forms and filled the submissions and achieved success. The plot was cleared. Service held. Far more suitable stones set in place. John Thomas's note from the Sand Dune Brigade will never be forgotten again. Told my sister I was going to do this. She's still a terrier. She's going, you can't just tell them. You must show them the photos. And you must tell them about the butterflies. There's the photo. When Marie found the rock, covered in weeds and dirt, she knelt down, cleared it up, stood it up to take a photo. Immediately swarmed by a massive bowl of fluttering yellow butterflies. A friend standing aside stood and astonished. And as long as Marie stood over the stone taking the photo, the butterflies stayed with her. Stepped back and they flitted back into the trees they come from. Now, Granddad dying in the dunes is a sad story. But a whole lot of butterflies Marie to this day believes, and so do I. That was Granddad and his mates come to say thank you. And that's what I call a happy ending. Anyway, by the 20s and 30s, Granddad's misadventures has left Dad an impoverished orphan on the streets and docks of Waterloo. 1920s and 30s, times are tough, no money about, employment prospects were dim. So Dad and his mates became entrepreneurs, joined the removalist trade. They'd removed various items from bonded stocks along the docks and distributed them through pubs and clubs in the It became quite popular. Made a good living, but they did get in trouble for that. Years later, my brother came along. Family name still strong. With the help of a couple of Yanks, he expanded the business to a 40. We both got in trouble for that. Anyway, by the 40s and 50s, the pubs are still full of dark-eyed men drinking their night away. And a new wave of vets come home from Korea, frosted toes and cold hard hearts. They fitted right in. Hard times, hard men. And a punch in the eye was regarded as a reasonable form of speech. No more than an adjective to add emphasis. Two blokes had an argument in the bar, put their beers down, go outside, punch on. No kicking, let him up, inside, shake hands, get back to drinking. They had to get drunk early. Pub shut at 6, they were up at 4 in the morning, boots on out the door. They've got bridges to build, highways, power stations, indoor plumbing, dragged Australia into the 20th century. By the 60s, it's my turn. Qantas said, no, you can't be a pilot, go do something else. So there's an electrical company down the street, Precision, go there, good company. 3 Australian bosses, 3 Australian apprentices, and everyone else refugees. Boss would go down to the docks with a big sign written in German and English, electricians wanted. They're the best workers. Hire them straight off the load. 2 days later, they'll be on site. Trojans all of them. These guys rebuilt a continent brick by brick after they built the bridge. Perfection, the only standard acceptable. I've still got a dent in the back of my head from Manfred. Faster, boy, better. The only accepted standard is perfection. Made me the best electrician I could be, which proved a double-edged sword. As the big jobs rolled down, they shed staff and just keep the best for last. It's always left me kind of wandering between jobs. Over the next 10 years, we built a golden age. Every city block had a tower crane up. Greeks and Italians in the suburbs, concrete driveways, terrazzo pathways, 5-bedroom red brick houses for the expanding families. White golden lines leading off every gate post. A golden age. And then 74. Mainline went bust. The biggest construction company in the state. 10,000 guys went to work on Monday morning to find a site on the door. No wages this week, boys. That was a kick in the gut. Then Tracy was in Cycloper. Tracy visited Darwin. And when she left, she took most of the city and far too many lives with her. So on motorbikes and cars and aeroplanes, we ladled our tools and headed north. We met the most wonderful people in the world. Farmers and fishermen, cowboys and miners, and one strange white-skinned pommy. I'll tell you about him later. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, certainly. Thank you for asking. I'll do just that.
We're old and deaf, mate.
Oh, I'm old and stupid. I'll fit right in. Okay, off to Darwin. We've met the most marvellous people in the world. Now, Darwin being Darwin, the first thing they rebuilt were the pubs. I'm having a drink in the Don with a local. The third beer he's wicking. He watched his wife cut in half by a flying steel lid from the water tank down the street. His kids down south with his family. 7 o'clock in the morning, he's on the school site cutting timber. I get this done, I get the school back, I get my kids back, I get my life back. He's out there rebuilding his city and his life. Now, I keep talking about blokes, but there's some amazing women up there as well. Pulled in La Casarina in the afternoon for a beer, and the barmaid's backing out. Get out of the way. She's dragging a crocodile by the tail. Not a big one, like a metre and a half long, but still put a hole in it. So she's dragged it out in the street, swung it off her hip, and had seen the sea and caught the salt across the street, gone like a hairy amount. Turned to us and apologised. Bloody thing keeps coming in. Would you like a beer, boys? It's cool as a cucumber. So there's a note to self. If you're ever up that way, don't be rude to barmaids. You'll find yourself swimming with crocodiles. A little bit later, a lot of the work's done. They don't have a governor up there, they've got an administrator. It's got a mansion in town. And a gatehouse out the front, which we just finished building, bricks left over. White skinned Pommy comes wandering out of the mansion, Cobra hat, white shirt, funny shorts and sandals. What's going, boys? It's lunchtime. What's on? Beer and a pie. I'm in, beer and a pie. So he sat in the bricks and he ate his pie and he drank his beer and he talked to blokes around. Most amazing man. Archbishop of Canterbury, the British Pope, comes down to bless it. And what a delightful human being. Never met such a nice man. Truly inspiring. And by this time, Darwin's almost rebuilt. Civilization's rearing its ugly head. So I'm getting fond of the wild woolly. Let's have a look at the west. $200 Holden from the tip. There's thousands of them all written off after cyclone. So away we go, in and west. Away we go. Hot, dry, and dusty driving across the top. So the first thing you do when you pull in a derby, you drive into the local job centre. Order a beer and ask the barman if anyone's hiring around here. I was lucky. Bloke behind me said, yeah, I am. Okay, mate, what's the word? He said, pearl nets. Pearl nets, what's that? Instinct road, 100 metres long, 44-gallon drums tied in a circle. Divers go down the middle, collect pearls, and the crocodiles and sharks swim around the outside looking for holes. So if you want the work, the rule is no holes. I said, yep, got it. When do we start? He said, finish your beer and follow me. Rounded up the 3 other blokes in the pub he'd hired, we down to the docks. Jumped in the car, followed his truck. The boat shed, bunkhouse. Great setup he's got. Joined the 6 local guys and his permanent crew. We sat there for 5 days. Food supplied, bunk supplied, eat, work, eat, work, eat, work. 5 days, the job's done. Well done, fellas. Come up the house, I'll pay you. Over the house, and there it is. 6-bedroom Queenslander, 12 foot off the ground on concrete piers, massive machine shed. Playboat in it, Range Rover to drive it, Statesman for him, an RF for her, V8 Ute for the eldest boy. 2-stroke motorboats all over the place. Man cave, pool tables, guns and rockets. What a wonderful place to live. Every couple of months they go down to Perth for dinner and a show. He sells some pearls, she does some shopping, take presents home for the kids. Wonderful way for a make a living. As long as you don't get eaten. Okay, job's done. What's next? Lang Hancock's found some iron ore down the Great Sandy Desert, a place called Parawannaga. 50 miles past Karratha, turn left in the dirt road, 80 miles, you'll find some tents. That's where we're working. Got to be finished by Christmas, railway line on the way. So away we go. South, dirt road, 80 mile, here we are. Very hot in the Great Sandy Desert. Foreman puts the thermometer up on the wall. Every time we hit 50 degrees, we'd all down to losing a lot of hours. And we're all there for the money, so we want the work. Get the mine to put 44-gallon drums of ice water all around the site. Big fluffy hats for the boys, stick them in that every half hour. No one stop work. Soon we're the most well-paid team on the site. Here comes Christmas, the job's done. Big fistful of 50s, they paid well. So 4 of us into the van, 4 boxes of beer, and away we go to Perth. 80 miles of dirt road, turn left. 1,200 miles, here we come. About 200 miles south of Karratha, there's a truck in a ditch. Police car and a cop standing next to it, tears running down his face. As you do when someone's broke, you pull up and give a hand. The companies, mate, service an area as big as Britain. Not a lot of people out there, and they knew them all. This copper knew this driver. He knew the driver before and the one before that. When the truck hit the ditch, the cab stopped. The sheets of steel plate in the back didn't. Came through the cab about chest high. And there's the top of the driver sitting over there on the other side of the ditch. He'd made the calls for the heavy duty gear to come and mix the ditch, so we stayed with him. We saw it coming down the road. Got close, he put a bottle of water on his head, put his cop face back on and went to work. Went back to work. It's not a memory he could take home to the wife and kids. He might share it with his mates around a barbie. He might bear that burden on his own. There's no flying psychiatrist in the Great Northwest, and no room for success. So off to Perth we go. And proved a disappointment, nothing much going on. Did run into a couple of guys in a car park carrying karate gis. Come across the street and have a hit. Oh, yeah, I'm in that. So walked across the street, walked in the door and fell in love. Look at this martial art thing, how good is this? How long has this been going? Turned out been going on quite a while.
Now, what will you mean?
27. How long has this been going on? Turned out it had been going on quite a while, and it confused me with all its rules. Oh, violence in the background. Then this smart-headed teacher pulled me up. He could see I was a bit wobbly-minded, and he explained it clearly to me. He said, mate, we train hard. We train real hard, because we train bouncers. We give you the tools you need. When you need someone who needs help, you can help them. When you see someone who's bad, you can help them. Otherwise, construction worker, I can grasp that. Good help, bad help. You're a beauty, I'm in. So we're training. We're in the gym, we live in the place, training in the dojo. Money's running out. So the boss is going, you want a job, boys? Okay, what's the work? Well, we've got a tour of a rock and roll band. A month around the Great Southwest. Collie, Bunbury, Margaret River, all down there. Staying in hotels or tents, and we train every day on the road, and we work every night in the gig. Do you want the work? Are you kidding? I'm getting free travel, I'm getting free food, I get to drink with the rock and roll. I get to train every day, I get to belt bad guys. And you're gonna give me money? I'm all surrounded by rock and roll music and dancing girls? Yeah, I want the job, absolutely. Discovered my new career. So we're into it. While we're in Perth, we're training in the day, working the pubs at night. Get my hand in. 82, I'm back in Sydney. Got a cute little job at Channel 9, changing light bulbs, easy stuff. Leaves plenty of time. Got a dojo over in Darlinghurst, 2 dozen students. We're all working doors around the eastern suburbs across Darlinghurst. I've made some phone calls. Family name's still strong. And soon doors are available with a 3 monkeys rule. See nothing, hear nothing, say nothing, fight like a gorilla. Well paid doors, and I was getting a few of them. So soon bought a panel van from Penrith Council. Big bull bar in the front, pushing things. Plenty of room in the back to throw in a riot squad when I needed to replace. Had some fun jobs. Got a call one night. Mick, get down the mansions. One of yours is playing up. Okay, round the back street, the locals' entrance. Out of the van, and bang! That's a gunshot. Whoop! And that's a rifle shot, not a handgun. Very unusual in King's Cross, especially on a Tuesday night. And no one's running out. Usually when guns go off, people flee the place. What do I hear inside? Applause. So in we go, and there's the answer. Denise on the bar. High heels, short skirt, M1 carbine in her arms, naked from the waist up. Shooting holes in the roof. He's a bugger, he cheated, he lied to me. Oh no, Denise, darling. We know he's a bugger, he's not worth it. Shooting holes in the roof of a 5-story timber floored building. Someone's gonna notice. Right? You've been to jail, you know he's not worth it. Get out and away we'll go. So the gun comes down, 1 foot in the stool, 1 foot in the floor. Jacket around the house, shoulders and out the door. Applause and laughter all the way. Great little night. Had other nights, more glamorous. Mick, get a call. Down Darling Harbour, the Australian Fashion Awards. Fashion Award of the Year. searchlights in the sky, television cameras, valets from here to there. So we pull up in the old panel van at the front door, throw in the keys and say, park it over there next to the Maserati. Don't scratch the paint. Got some strange looks from that. And now I'm expecting the girls to call me. These are the girls that have showed up in town a couple of years before, cute little things, hit the clubs, attracted the attention of some people that they should not attract their attention. So I shooed the flies away and escorted them around the clubs till they found the feet and off their way in their motley career. Here they are, I'm expecting, okay, some drunken mobbing's grabbing at the pretty girls and I get to give him a slap. In the door, Mickey, no, we told you we wouldn't forget you, we won. We're dancing, get up here. So there we are, on the catwalk at the Australian Fashion Awards, the bouncer from the cross and the black t-shirt and jeans, dancing on the catwalk, the prettiest girls in town. Turned a lot of heads. Turned more heads when we left. The girls with the trophies jumped in an old panel van, all the windows left in Bentleys. Great little night. Those are the good times. There's some horror there too. Christmas Eve, the backpacker fire. Fire station in the eastern suburbs. The fireys are sitting around, they got their family there, the wives and kids, they're playing Sandy. One fat guy, ho, 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 and the bell rings. And they're all up and the fireman suit goes around the Sandy suit and they're in the truck and on the way. And here we are, 30 metres down the lane, the backpacker's on fire. So we're standing in the street, the fireman there giving it some water, and what we found later was a Frenchman. Showed up on the second window, a human Campbell, screaming. The fireman yelled, jump, we'll catch you. He jumped, they did. But his skin had been compromised. The other fireman hosed him off, hosed him away. Those of us watching recoiled in horror. Terrible, terrible thing. They finished the fire, they packed the hoses, and away they went. And when we went away and talked about it, we talked about the fire. He's back to the station, off with the fire suit, on with the Santa suit, and the kid's back on his knee. How strong is that man's mind? How does he carry that? By 93, Sydney's over. New wave of migrants had come to town, destroyed a tradition that went back to the rum court. Tradition Neville Wran proudly declared the opening of Kerry Packer's Entertainment Centre, social event of the year. The Premier of the State stood up at the podium and announced to the world that New South Wales had the finest police force money could buy. Yes. Had crooks choking on their beers from Byron Bay to the Murray River. Some people in Sydney even had heart attacks. Don't tell them that. New wave of migrants had changed the tradition ever since the beginning of Australia in Melbourne. Ever since the run court in Melbourne, the cops would fight the cops. In Sydney, we pay them. Much better situation. This new wave of migrants introduced themselves to the New South Wales police with a machine gun attack on the Kimber police station. All bets are off. Within weeks, old sergeants behind the desk who'd been on the take for years decided it was time to go to Wollongong and buy a news agency. Made room for a new wave of coppers to come in. Saw one of them, walking to work. Sydney Serpico. New Yorker Serpico made his name, lay in the gutter covered in urine stroke rags, taking pictures of the mafia doing business. The cop in Sydney decided to copy him. And there he was, in the gutter with his little Kodak, clicking away happily at the boys on the door under the light, selling guns and drugs. It's time to go. Joe stopped jailing people for smoking a joint, so let's get Queensland a look. So away we go, Cairns, Cooktown, Port Douglas, then up to Horn Island, working on the airport, more marvellous people, fishermen and farmers, miners, cowboys, people who sew up their own wounds and get back to work. So we're working on the airport, digging a trench, and the diggers hit me in the leg. Cut, yeah, and water, wrap it up, back to work. Fly back to Cairns that afternoon. In the door, on the floor, crawl out of the clothes, into the shower, lick water off the floor for 6 days, while 8 kilos of body weight flow down the drain. So 6 days later, we're up on the feet, sarong round the waist, down to the medical centre, and they went, "You're dead." I went, no, I'm not on standard. And they went, that's melanoidosis. That kills everyone. You've got it in your blood. No more construction work for you. One more cut, you're going to die. And there's trees up here that'll kill you too. So get out of the tropics. That was a kick in the guts. So 2010, I'm down the Sunshine Coast teaching pad work in a gym. And the therapist runs in from next door. Stop. Why? Class next door, veterans, PSD, we're doing a meditation. Every time you hit the pad, they hear guns and rockets. Stop it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Change the class. In next door. How are you going, boys? The first guy I see is old Bernie up the back. 80-something-year-old trying to get to his feet. Long ago, I lied about his age to get a slouch hat and cricket coat. Here he is nearing his 90s still. Huge smile on his doll, and the whole room full men the same. Okay, hey guys, look at you struggling. Your hips are sore, your knees are sore. I'll teach you stretch class. Come with me and train. No money, of course, you pay the dues. Got to know them. Great bloke. Terrific humans. They like my stories of punching drunks in the night and dancing girls. And the stories they told me were businesses, families and children, and lives they built. Old Bernie with a line of photos, 86 grandchildren. Happy, stoic, solid men. We're teaching the class, so up this way, one arm down, one out, foot out that way, one foot out that way, bend over there, yeah, good, roll that. That's up the other side, bend over that way, stick your arm up, and this guy stood there looking at me. No. Foot out, arm over that way. No, they're looking at me. But what's the problem, mate? You did the other side fine. He went, well, I was sitting in a helicopter, and the bullet come up through, went through my foot, went through my calf, went through the thigh, went in here and come out, and I can't do that. Oh, well, that's fair enough, mate. Wonderful people. You'd think he'd spent all his life in Woolworths. You would not pick it. You know, the most solid people. So what can I do for these guys? Stretch class, not enough. I'll write them a book. A book, okay. I'll write a book. I'll write them a book. How do you do that? I don't know. I left school at 14, no education, so I have to work it out myself. Been a builder forever, so I know I need tools. Okay. Didn't grow up with a keyboard, so it's got to be pencil and pad for me. It's not a worry. For histories, first great saga, the Epic of Gilgamesh, written 5,000 years ago, still studied today. And they wrote that with a pointed stick and a slab of clay. So with a HB pencil, a big white page, I'm already 2 steps ahead. That's great. Now, I know I'm a first writer. This is going to take years. Where do I get the persistence, the self-belief, the sheer bloody mindedness when I want to stop and give up? So when you want advice, it's always best to look to the greats, the people with a proven track record. There was an old Italian, soldier by trade, and he used to write himself advice. One of the things he wrote cheered me to my heart, and I still believe to this day and always will, that anything another man can do, I can also do. Well, his name was Marcus Aurelius, and he made himself king of the world. So what he has to say, I'll listen to. Okay, I've got it. If he can do it, I can do it. Okay, that's persistence. Now, what about literature? How do I know I'm not educated? Back to the greats. There was an old guy named Ern, and he lived a crusty life, and he wrote it down, and he made quite a name for himself. Hemingway. Yeah, quite the king of literature for several years there along the line. Okay. He lived a crusty life. He wrote it down. Marcus made his way with fire and sword. Me with blood, sweat and tears. What a team. We're together. Okay, we're ready to go. Now I've got the stories. I've got the confidence. Can I write it? Go back to Hemingway and he spoke to a group of neophyte writers. And he said a wonderful, wonderful thing. Never doubt, never fear, never worry. The first draft you write is always rubbish. And I worked out a cunning plot to do just that. As you'll see, rubbish down the right-hand side. Fixes down the left, little asterisk, and then go over there, make that sound better. You'll notice by this time, I've stopped writing in pencil, I've gone to ink. But I didn't throw a pencil away. I sharpened it and put it where I'd see it every day. Wherever I went for the next 5 years, I took the pencil with me and put it where I'd see it every day. And it proved the magnet I hoped it'd be. Every time I saw it, it inspired me with Catholic guilt and drew me back to the page. Wonderful invention, the pencil. Okay, I've got the tools, I've got the confidence now. Some structure would be nice. Some lines to paint between. Fortunately, in my youth, I committed a number of errors which afforded me the opportunity to sit in quiet rooms for long periods of time and read books. It did seem a little bit longer than I needed at the time, but after a while, a pattern began to emerge. All books seem to be written, fact, fiction, or fantasy, seem to be written for the same thing. Where and when, who, what, why, and how. Okay. Where and when sets the stage for your players to dance on. This is where we're going to perform. Can be short or long. The shortest I ever heard, the most efficient, 3 short lines, not even a verb. Long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Right now, there you go. 3 words, 3 lines, and everybody who hears it, they go straight into a star-spangled void big enough for 10,000 starships. And that's what he needed. And that's rare as a pig with wings. Almost every story requires the thread of time and space to run through it, as does mine. You can take it anywhere, you can take it any place, but whatever you do with it, it must stay congruent. You can't have Ned Kelly ride into town and whip out his iPhone. Right? You'll lose most of your readers right there. Where and when? Who? Well, for me, that was easy, that was me. But for everyone else the same, you can pick your own hero, you can make one your own, you can write about yourself. But again, it must stay congruent. You can't have Ned Kelly flying spaceships, right? They've got to be in the same place. What? What is the problem? What is the thing that stirs our hero to action? Trolley boy, girlfriend, cashier, wife, 2 children, 3 children, university, store manager, retired, vision. Pardon the French, but bulldust. Nobody lives their life in a straight line. It's all ups and downs. There's peaks and troughs, and that's where your stories are, where the human spirit's twisted. Who? What? Why? Why is an easy one too. There's a list, you just pick from it. Written thousands of years ago, even graven in stone. Greed, lust, hatred. Just pick one. There's a whole list. Even give one to your hero to make him a real fan. Why? How? How is the end? How is where you tie all the threads together? Where your hero solves the problem. Whether through fire and the sword or cunning and guile, the answers come together. The hero gets the gold, the boy gets the girl. The villain gets his just desserts. Or not. That's up to you. And that's the end. Now wouldn't that be easy? You've written a book. Hooray. But gird up your loins, here comes the hard bit. Most writers like a life of solitude, me in particular. After 35 years of punching drunks on the door, I dearly love my days alone. But now we need people. First just a few to get from here to here. Now we need people. And after a few, we need a million eyes more to read the thing. But fortunately, the universe loves me and sent me a friend, a great mate, possessed of patience, deep confidence, deep generosity. But more importantly, possessed of a commercial grade photocopy of prettier photo. So, Al's a good bloke too. He likes a beer. Carton of Crownies later, we've got 6 of what I call manuscripts. His secretary yelling us to fill the paper tray, but I've got them. Al's a clever bloke. He even pulled a photo and stuck it on the cover. They call that artwork in the literary trade. We're getting very professional. So now I've got it. 6 lists, I've got a manuscript. Now where do I sell it? It's an Australian story. I want an Australian publisher. So all full of naivety and confidence into the yellow pages. Very stupid, should use Google instead. Hello, you Australian company? Yes, we're in Brisbane. Printing facility at Cooper's Plains. So into the car and check them out. There's the facility, there's the office. How do you do? Okay, what the book, there's the money, what do you want, what this you want, what da. All the literary stuff. Yes, go. Give them the money and away you go. I'm in print. I know I'm wonderful. It's going to send me millions. So I'm waiting. And waiting. And waiting and waiting. And a mate rings me from Essex in England. He said, mate, there's a book over here with your name on the cover, your picture on the cover. Selling for 45 quid. Selling in London for 50. Beauty money rolling in. Waiting. So ring the company, no answer. Up to Cooper's Plains, very tasteful graffiti around the boarded up printing store. An English company, they lied. They took the money, they packed their tents, they fled in the night. Oh good. Now what do? Do I go again or do I stop? Well, I'm going to meet Marcus in heaven one day, so I can't stop. Must go again. Off to the cops, get the drunk punching licence renewed. 9 months in the Gold Coast doing those to the junkies at night. That's enough. Here come the police, it's 1 in the morning, there's my licence. I've got enough money, I'm back in print. See you later, no more of that. So back we're in print. And this time I don't want to get robbed. So I'll sell it myself. So how do I do that? Okay, back to the grades. Bloke named John Single. Advertising guru of Australia for many years. Delightful bloke when sober, charitable, friendly, lovely guy, loves a joke. Unfortunately, a goose when drunk. Double bail, tapped him on the shoulder. You're a goose, you're drunk, get out. Customers said, you can't do that, that's John Singleton, he's rich. I said, I'm Mick Malone, the bouncer. Get out. Quiet them all down for a while. 9 years later, he and his mates are in Port Douglas making a goose of themselves and annoying the backpackers. I've walked into work. Tapped him on the shoulder. He spun around to have a go. His eyes went big, his mouth fell open. The back of his mind went, there's something wrong with this picture. I went, yeah, me again. Get out. Pub down the road, take your money. I've thrown 1,000 people out of 1,000 places and he impressed me hugely. As drunk as he was, he looked and his brain went, well, I don't know why, but I'll do what this guy says. He said, thank you, and walked away. I went, okay, you're clever, I'll follow what you have to say. He was asked by an interviewer, why do you win? What's your strategy? What makes you the king? It's simple, shotgun. The guy said, what do you mean shotgun? He went, well, I take my product and I load in all the barrels I can, and I blast it everywhere. And whatever it sticks, that's where I go. Which brings us right back to Philip. I thought I could do that. I'm the Gold Coast entertainment centre of the world. I'll buy a box of books every couple of months, sit in the pub and throw them at people. And one day one will stick. And one day one did. To Philip. Now, here we go.
Your mum?
All good? Okay. Now, hang up on it. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the round trip. Around the nation, across the years. Whether you have or not, there's a takeaway here for you. Not from me, from Marcus. Doesn't need batteries, lasts forever. If I can do it, you can do it. I did this. So on your way home, stop at a newsagent. Buy yourself a HB pencil, take it home and put it somewhere you see it every day. Wherever you do, take it out and look at it every day. Because believe it or not, there's magic in that thing that comes out of you. Are there any questions?
What a life.
The reason I hadn't mentioned the reason I wrote this, it was obviously for PTSD inspired. And I had a dream. Eventually this hopefully will grow and we'll get some news and raise some money. And what I want to do is buy a block of land and put 20 houses on it, or an old pub with accommodation. first responders, there's hundreds of them out there living under bridges and in parks. There's tents all over the place, and there's people who've paid their dues. And that's what this whole thing is about. To recognise the people that have put into the country, that worked hard and done the right thing by us. So if this works, we can do something for them. If anybody would like a copy, I have not brought any way of electronic payment. What I've done, that one's for you. What I've done is I've put a little tag inside with the bank details on it. So if you want one, you can pay whenever you feel. But the main reason I did this, I look around a room and there's a lot of people my age living on a pension, and that can be hard. So if you're living on a pension and you'd like a copy, and 20's too hard, don't tell them, don't worry about it, come and accept one as a gift. I wrote it, so I know what's in it. So it's a lot better in your hands than in mine. And if you can get a day or two of happy out of it, I'd be delighted to give you one.
Thank you. Where's the change to go?
Yes, ma'am, what can I do for you?
That 1065.
That was Granddad's army number.
Okay.
And they're all the same, as scattered across just rocks in the earth with
Yes.
numbers on them, no numbers or anything, no
I
names.
didn't realise. I was thinking 1065. That seemed a long time ago.
He was in England fighting off the Normans, huh?
You're right.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, guys.
Excellent.
What clubs did you bounce across?
Springfield's this one. That was 6 years rock and roll, Australia's rock and roll venue of the year, where we had David Bowie in there playing, had all kinds of people, had Soho.
What years, Mick? What years?
From 82 to 93.
Oh, I bet I've met you.
Possibly. It's just that when the left first came in, when little Johnny first came into town, and George Freeman gave him the club down the street to kick him off.
Yeah.
And that's when the society started to change and across. And previously the policemen would come and visit your venues and give them certain treats, and life went well. But then that was all over. And you can't. Whole different attitude.
We used to call it bourbon and beefsteak with bourbon and mincemeat.
Oh, what a wonderful place for breakfast. I saw
You can bathe in our Alamein fountain.
there lots of people have done that, and some without wanting to.
Yeah.
You know. I saw in the bourbon and beefsteak one morning a wonderful example of a blockhead getting his just desserts.
What's a blockhead?
A dill, a fool, a loudmouth fool.
Thank you. Just got it.
Did I get it?
Thank you.
Yeah,
That wasn't me.
No. Girl sitting at the window with a friend of mine who'd come over from Thailand to compete in Muay Thai. They're fighting at Longpin Stadium, top level fighter. And lovely, lovely man, Thai, gentle, sweet man. And he's sitting at the window having breakfast with his Australian girlfriend and a group of, they had a football club there, the Aussie Swans football club there. The office, two of them had stood in the street abusing him for being with a white girl. So most of us stood up, and he went, no, it's all right. And he's about that tall. Skinny little Thai guy built like that.
Hard as granite.
Walked out in the street and left the two of them laying there going, hello! None of that.
You know, we've got a 10 times well.
Oh, he's at a local, yeah, met one a number of times. He's a lovely, lovely bloke. And so all the top guys are. Once you can do it, you behave like a gentleman wherever you go.
Oh, look, I've seen that movie, The Underbelly,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of similarities I can see.
Well, it dovetails, mate. It dovetails. There's a lot of them are the same characters. Where this Springfield was, where George Freeman moved little Johnny into the cross, it's 50 metres down the street. So we kind of overlap of where we were going out and he was coming in, and they were the people who can't change the culture, which.
Yeah. So what can you see in, say, 5, 8 years? What would you like to see?
Oh, mate.
What's your written in that?
Well, it's taken me years to get this far, but at least, you know, finally I've got a little bit, and hopefully this will do something for me. But my original dream was 10 or 20 acres with little tiny houses all over it, you know, firemen and nurses who can't take it anymore, people who burnt by their life story. But looking at money, I'm thinking now the best thing, I'll look at buying myself a bus and tour the country, look for an old pub. I reckon it's a better way to do it. Old pub, put vets in there, run it, and accommodation round it. You know, not only give them somewhere to live, but give them a job in an industry, you know, and something to do. Huh?
And you can be the mentor.
Well, that's why I've gone to this, mate. There was a sword saint in, guy in Japan they call the sword saint, a guy called Musashi. They still name their major battleship after. And he went all over Japan and he fought everyone he could. Anyone he could fight, anyone could learn something new, he went and fought everyone who stood in front of him. And then he retired, he got too old, and he retired to a cave with a guy fed him, and he spent the rest of his life writing books and painting. I'm too old to be doing this anymore. So I've got to the book. One day I'll get to the painting.
In the book, you're Nick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other names, are they made up? Brian and Tony?
Well,
the owners?
this is the thing, for the ones that were dead, I used their real names.
Yeah, okay.
Others have changed the names and I've swapped where you were and what you did. So like the only people who could make any reality out of it were people there at the time. But 75% of what's in there is real. It happened. There's some fantasy I add to it to disguise a couple of bosses and put some history back behind them.
And they'd be the names we know.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that I didn't use.
This is the underbelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The history of Australian history, that's what
So I pulled out, there are still some alive around the place that would much rather their names not be mentioned, of course.
You're still going.
Yeah, doing bits and pieces, or some retired in peace. On the Gold Coast. There's a few of them wandering around.
Who had the best gang wars, Melbourne or Sydney?
Oh no, mate.
Sydney, hey, you didn't die
No,
there.
that was the thing. Sydney was a far more peaceable town.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When someone didn't like you, you'd say, "Here, have 1,000." They go, "See you later." In Melbourne, they go, "Bang, bang, bang." No good, no good.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'll take coffee because I haven't read it yet. Have you ever had symptoms of PTSD?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. This is what brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
I thought I was just mad. After all the years, I have a problem with instant adrenaline. After all the years of getting attacked from behind, like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 people, you're smoking. And the vets, when I started training them, they asked me, they said, where did you serve? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I tried to join, but they wouldn't let me. But naughty when I was young. And they went, well, you're as mad as us. I went, oh, well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. And so I started talking about it. And this is what started me on my realization. Like, writing this thing was the best thing I've ever done for me. It was so cathartic. And it's, like I said, I turned 72 a little while ago. I should be getting tired. I should be getting worn out. But this thing's given me so much energy and a passion and mission. I'll get years out of it yet. It's definitely the best thing I've done. And as I say, cathartic. So over the time I was writing, I could feel myself becoming less angry and less reactive. So it's something, again, as I hope as the time goes on, I can have more to do with PTSD within first responders, and it's something I highly recommend. Like I said, buy a pencil. You might not think you've got anything there, but if you buy a pencil and you buy a pad, sit down one day, write a couple of lines, walk away, come back another day, write a couple of lines. Putting things on paper, it's amazing what it does for you. It's a personal benefit, as well as getting yourself out in the world. Here is just what I believe.
Can you tell me, did you have any interaction with Roger Rogerson? Was that your hero?
Yeah. I pulled Sally Huckstep out of a burning hotel room with her boyfriend and child one night, and Roger showed up. He was a thorn in the side to everyone in Sydney who was trying to do things properly. Yeah, he's just super greedy and an evil man. And he eventually, it took a long, long time, but he eventually got his just desserts. He was a true.
But he died of natural causes.
Oh, he died in jail, yeah, but at least he died in jail, where he should have
Should have
been.
been for years.
He should have been there years before, absolutely.
What about Abe Saffron? His night.
Oh, Abe, Uncle Abe, he's a beautiful bloke. Oh, Uncle Abe, everybody loved Abe. He was a great boss to everyone who ever worked for him. You know, a terrible enemy to have, of course, but rewarded his work as well and never did. This was the difference in pattern. As I say, the old school guys are so much better. Whatever they did for business, they guarded their families and their people with their lives. They had a guy come in, Danny Kaye came in. He decided he was going to be the new king of the world, and he lasted 9 months. His own guy shot him because he wouldn't follow the rules. He mistreated people who worked for him and insult police instead of paying them. So the rules were rigidly upheld until Lakemba got machine gun. And then that was the end of that.
Because a lot of the Maoris were on the doors in those days.
Oh, weren't they? Oh, I wish I had some photos of this. Oh, here it is. No, it is. Two brothers working with me, Phil and Stevie, 6'4" and 6'5", 130 kilos, 140 kilos. And New Year's Eve, they run the Kiwi bar down the top of the cross, open 24/7. So New Year's Eve in the morning, I'm sitting in the club with some girls from Penthouse and some of his staff, and they've gone down the street to change shifts. One brother with me, one brother working. And the girls have run back in, and son Phil's been attacked. He's out in the street, we've run out. A team of Tongans have come over, they've Maori family wars back in New Zealand. They sent a team of Tongans over to get him. So they caught him outside the club, and they had a big team, double bay security around him, guns and clubs and all the thing, and they all ran away, left Phil with the Tongans. I hit him and knocked him down. I ran out and stood over him. I'm doing the best I can to get the Tongans off him. Come on, wake up, Phil, wake up, Phil. And the girls run down the street to his brother, Steve, in the Kiwi bar. And he scooped up a whole big man, scooped up an armful of pool balls. And his mate had one of those Valiants out the front, the top cut out. So he's got 1 foot on the seat, 1 foot in the bonnet. He's come up the centre of Darlinghurst Road, the middle of King's Cross, 7 o'clock New Year's morning. And I'm in the middle of this crowded Tongans doing my best. And this one went that way, that one went that way, and I'm going, oh, look at me, how am I good? And look across, and here comes Stevie on the Valiant, hurling pool balls. About 70 miles an hour up the street, boom, 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 boom. So anyway, picked Phil up and woke him up, and the guy, Steve, Simon, you've saved my brother's life, we love you, So come with us. So I woke up about 4 hours later, New Year's Day, on Bondi Beach, buried to the neck in the sand, and gone to get up and realised I'm naked. Oh, happy New Year to me. What's going on here? Bondi Beach, there's thousands of people everywhere. What's going on? And then the Maoris come down the hill. Armfuls of apple seafood and drinks and beer and eskies and all kinds of things. Come around and sit around me. They've gone, yeah, we took your clothes, you're unconscious, because if we woke up you might wander away. So, and this guy, this cross I've got, these are a thing from a martial arts world. Bushido cross, little gold cross. They're awarded for various rank in martial art. The elder brother, Stevie, he had this round on the chain around his neck. His grandmother gave him when he left New Zealand. He'd have that. And he took it off and he went, you have that. You ever get to New Zealand, make sure they know I'm going to see the family. So I took my cross off and go to the inn. So there you go, mate. And what was that? That's quite a few years ago. I don't think that thing's been off my finger probably twice in all those years. once I lent it to a friend who was going to Sydney. Be aware of that and go to Bondi. And got the most remarkable reception.
Yeah.
Yeah, got well looked after. So the Maori boys were wonderful. The Oak in Double Bay,
No,
they had the private schools all up the top, play rugby union.
Cranbrook.
But Scots, all of them,
Scots College
kids, all play rugby union, so they're on the bouncer and I work there alone. So the boss has rung, he's gone, mate, if you're coming to work today, you better bring a friend. We've got the thing, we've got 1,000 schoolboy rugby union players down here. And I had developed a bit of a reputation in the Oak. I went, okay, I'll get a friend, so I rang Phil, the Maori. Well, he was an ex-Maori All Black, as well as everything else. He's brilliant too. And so come on down, I go, mate, I'll go down. You go and look at the front bar, it's front, middle, back bar. The front bar is all the dads, the businessmen. The middle bar is all the granddads sitting there, the rich, and all the back's all the boys, playing up. So I've gone, mate, I'll go and you go look at the front bar, make sure it's all good. I'll go in the back bar and meet you around there. That's sweet. I walked in the back bar, guys stood up and gone, there he is. And all the rugby players stood up. I went, oh dear. And then Phil walked in the door behind me. They all sat down. We know him. Oh, it was always good to have a friendly monster next door.
He was the bodyguard for the bodyguard.
Mick on controversial names, Tom Domican and Joe Meisner.
Oh, Tommy, yeah. He's Tommy and down. Tommy opened. Tommy opened the karate school in Double Bay. Or mate of his opened a karate school down there. Tom?
I thought he was in the PWC in Balmain.
Tom. What was the other? Hang on.
Oh, you're thinking of Meisner, probably.
Yeah.
World
Yeah.
Karate Champ.
Yeah. He started a thing in Double Bay, and he seemed to come straight. Like he made all appearances of living an honest life for a while.
I fought him one night in the Hakao class. At
Oh,
the Hakao
wow.
club in a chess game. True story. He played chess and so
That's the
did I.
best way to fight him.
Yeah. I knew who he was and I thought, I'm not beating this guy.
Oh, no. Our club is good. Mate, wonderful down there.
Until the odd bomb goes off. Remember that?
Yeah, that was a bit of a bother.
Mm.
That was a bit of a bother. Actually, the Karakawa does get a mention in the book.
It's gone now.
Oh, yeah, I know, they took it away. But in its heyday, it was a wonderful place, terrific people. Really
This was a proper chess comp. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm reading the board and I'm going, there must be two Joe Meisners. And I walked over and I knew what he looked like. And I'm going,
Oh dear, I
Unbelievable.
might lose this one.
I've got a draw actually.
Well, that's all I've got, guys.
You've had a very
Thanks,
interesting
Bob.
life.
Thank you.